I moved the kids into my room, locked the door, and sat with my handgun ready. Hours later, a shadow appeared at my bedroom window. I live in Texas with my two kids, Alicia, 8, and Jay, 4. Life was normal until one night, Jay woke me crying. "The man in the next house is making scary faces at me," he said. Jay's always had nightmares, so I brushed it off, but something about how specific it was unsettled me. When I checked their room, Alicia was awake and scowling. "He always has nightmares, Dad. I can't sleep." But their window, slightly open between the curtains, faced the neighbor's house. In the dark, I saw nothing. 2 nights later, Alicia woke me. Her voice was trembling. The neighbor was making faces at me. She said she'd heard a strange noise and peeked through the curtains, seeing him standing at his window, grinning grotesquely, his face twisted, pantomiming slashing his arm like playing a violin. Shaken, I tried knocking on his door the next day, but he didn't answer. When I walked away, I saw him, ducking below the window frame, watching me. That night, I decided to catch him in the act. I stayed up in my kids' room, curtains barely parted, waiting. At midnight, I heard it, low, rhythmic clicking, followed by a breathy whistle. When I looked, there he was, standing at his window, grinning with all his teeth, arms moving violently like he was cutting himself. But when he saw me, his smile dropped. Rage twisted his face. He slammed his window shut and yanked the curtains closed. Then came the thud. A loud, deliberate smack against my kid's window. Heart pounding, I opened the curtain wider and saw a handprint impossibly high on the glass. Our house is raised. No one could have reached it. I moved the kids into my room, locked the door, and sat with my handgun ready. Hours later, a shadow appeared at my bedroom window. Moonlight outlined him, his arms stretched unnaturally long, fingers twitching. Thud, thud, thud. He slammed his hands against the glass, staring directly at me. Just then, sirens cut through the night. The man turned and bolted, but not before his forearms seemed to shear off at the elbows, dropping to the ground like discarded branches. The police entered the neighbor's house and emerged pale-faced. "Your neighbor's dead," one officer said. But the man outside wasn't him. Whoever or whatever stood at my window that night is still out there,